Welcome back to Dallas Twang. I'm Dave. A little bit more familiar sound to that backing track today, isn't there? Somebody had left a comment recently that really, made sense to me, and they had a lot of kind things to say, and we're kind of like, man, this is working. I love the method. I'm able to use this stuff. The one thing I if I could request something, it would be like, can you, you know, do a video where you do a progression, or not a cover of a song, but something that is really popular or recognizable, and kind of show how you would plug your method into that. And I thought, man, that's a good idea, and it's just something that we're all going to be doing, right? We're playing along with stuff, and it's kind of like, I love those videos where it's like, what if so and so played, some other band or whatever. And they're just fun, it's just, kind of taking a break from all the serious stuff or something, right? And some of it's brilliant. I don't know the channels, the names of the players that are doing it, but I've seen a couple that were really cool. But so we're not doing anything like that. This is me playing like me, right? And you playing like you. But that's what this method's all about, right? It's I'm kind of, you know, trying to guide you and walk with you in that process, right? So now, not just me, but every other artist that I've ever heard cover, this songs that use this progression rely, and you can see why easily on mostly minor pentatonic. It just sounds good. So I'll have some of this loop at the end of this video for you to practice with, and then on Patreon this week we're going to drill down a little bit into some few other aspects of this or whatever. And I'll have a separate longer backing track on there. Now, backing track's nothing fancy. It's just a 16 bar loop of this, but it works to jam along with. So minor pentatonic. This is so much fun. It progression is just that old Jack Black, those crazy videos that they made or whatever, back in the day, the greatest song in the world and all of that. And sure enough, it came out, it was those chords, just sort of hodgepodge of like, every classic song that uses those chords or whatever. But it really is just it's canonized in the rock genre, and that minor pentatonic all day long. So what other cool stuff could we do with that? And for me, part of my playing, I'm always trying to address the chord tones, specifically and mainly the triads. And then I might do some analysis of stuff beyond the triad, if it's accounting for different chord tones in a, say, more of a 7-note scale type thing. We'll get to a little bit of that in this video. But the thing that I really want you to take away from this today is getting into that pentatonic, phrasing, and getting warmed up on that. And then mingling in some triad material, okay? So, how do we go about that? And this is one of the things that we do on this channel and a lot of other channels, pretty much with every piece of music, right? So what I would do is, and this is not just what I would recommend, this is what I do. I would just look at, where a lot of triads are at first. So say I might go, okay, and I'll go slow, right? I don't just put the backing track on and just try to like recall every cage shape that I've ever seen on paper and all that. That it, put it together one piece at a time, right? And before you even get that track on, you've got work to do, right? So okay. Now, I've always thought of this progression, and certainly in the Watchtower context, as being really kind of A minor and F, and that G is kind of you know, a, a, a stepping stone, between there or whatever. So one thing I could see doing is not, always omitting the G, but not like, don't, don't, you know, sacrifice your timing and your kind of overall feeling and groove to cram that in all the time. Okay, so I'm going to keep using that A minor pentatonic. Then I'm going to put some A minor and F major triads in there and kind of line them up for the most part at first with where they are in the song. Okay. Now, that's not bad. You can tell it's real deliberate, right? It's like it's more of we're in the theory part where we're intellectualizing it. That's great. Um, you know, that's how you practice it, right? As you get more of that under your fingers and it becomes more second nature, and this doesn't mean second nature, well, I guess it means both things. In the long term, it means second nature when you're applying this and you're playing in general in all sorts of situations. But in the short term, I'm talking 60 seconds, right? You rehearse those triads. Okay. Doesn't mean that all your work's done in 60 seconds, but that everything doesn't have to be, mastered. The skills and it's choose your battles and pare them down into something like right now. I've just got a couple of different places I'm working on doing an A minor triad to an F triad, right? That does not require, you know, an odyssey through the caged system and so forth. It just doesn't, right? So it's really important to nail down what you're doing right now, whenever you're playing, right? Don't try to do it all and don't try to generalize it all instantly, right? So that's our routine so far. I'm just kind of using some bluesy rock licks with that minor pentatonic and then, working out. Stop the backing track and work them out. Okay, I snuck another, note in there. Didn't, have to line up perfectly or whatever. And that's what's going to happen. Now, what's the bigger thing that's going to happen is, and especially if you put the G in there as well sometimes. Say we went, I'm not walking it back up to the G there, am I? But right, I'm using the chords. I'm practicing, right? I'm letting my ear just kind of, I'm immersing myself in those three triads in whatever form that ends up being. All the work is good there. So what happens is you end up adding some notes into that uh, uh, pentatonic collection of notes, right? The five notes in the pentatonic, and what what actually emerges is the natural minor scale. Okay, so don't take my word for it. Is he telling me can I just play the natural minor scale? Yes, you can. But now let's leave this on for a second. We've got three things going on: pentatonic, some triad stuff, okay. Just wanted to finish that off, right? I don't want to do, you know, so much demonstration in these videos that it you get kind of left out, right? But that was the three concepts there, right? And then from there you can scope out more specific aspects of all of that. Oh wait, maybe I'll you know go for the third of the F chord, and maybe I'll go for the fifth of the A minor and see what that sounds like and stuff. And so I'm not gonna go deeply into that right now because what we just talked about and what I hopefully just demonstrated in a decent way for you is there's a lot of work to do right there, right? And have fun with it. These are things that you can trust your ear with, right? And there's nothing that I just did that you need to copy. The notes that I just played, right? You could if you wanted to. You could back it up and look at certain parts of it or something. But stick with the program. Trust your ear, and I think because we do identify with these songs and these popular progressions. I think it does. I think this thank you for the comment again, whoever you were. I think that does access another kind of more established connection within ourselves to what we're playing sometimes, right? And some of us are just wanting to always improvise and make stuff up, and that's good. And that's kind of one of the goals that I have for you all, honestly, just because that's what I do. But hopefully this gives you something to really sink your teeth into. Let me know how it goes. Check us out on Patreon. We're going to be working on this and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Appreciate you. Talk to you next time.